Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be... Why are you there? You shouldn't be there. That goes back there. Today I'm going to be doing my Reading Rush wrap-up. I participated in the Reading Rush as well as I could. I got 6 books done, I believe. 2, 3, yep. 6 books. My partner was on vacation that week, so I didn't get to read as much as I usually do, but I still got a fair amount in. So let's go in order of least to most enjoyed and dive in. So I enjoyed all of these in some format or another. I felt that it was, in general, a good TBR, and I was pretty happy with it. I did add 2 books to it that I picked up during the readathon, or that arrived during the readathon. Why? I don't know. So I'm very excited to share with you my thoughts and ideas on these books, so let's dive right in. So the first book that we have is Chemistry. This is a novel by Wiki Wang. This one I picked up from Book of the Month. I picked it up on the recommendation of Joss from Squibbles Reads. I enjoyed this for the diversity. I thought it was an interesting premise. It had a lot of heart and a lot of warmth to it. It was really easy to read, very easy to digest. It was a pretty short book. It comes in at 211 pages, which is not very long at all. So I was pretty happy with it. I felt good about it. I really enjoyed it as a book, and I would definitely recommend it. The premise is her name... Why do I feel like I never found out her name? I genuinely feel like I never found out her name. But yeah, that probably would be why I wouldn't remember it. But this narrator, she is having issues with her relationship with her boyfriend, and her relationship with her job, and her relationship with her future. She's really feeling like everything she planned to do is not giving her the happiness that she was hoping it would, and she's somewhat depressed in a sense, and she feels very lost. I really enjoyed it. I think it's definitely an interesting book, especially for that mid-20s, early 30s years person. Didn't specifically chime with me in all ways, but it chimed with me in certain ways, so I would recommend it. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3 stars. Then I read this. This is Enemy Man by Amber Tomlin. I feel mixed on this one. I liked it more than Chemistry. However, I feel very mixed about it. It was very gripping and very raw and very intensely emotionally draining for me. It had a lot of feelings to it and a lot of emotion to it that I was not ready for and that I wasn't really in the headspace to comprehend. So this one is a mix of genres. It's very explicit, it's very literary, and it's very... it's of its time. It's very of its time. It's very of the Me Too movement. It is very much a conversation about misogyny and relationships between women and their sexuality and rape and things of that nature. It's dark, it's twisted, it has a lot of depth to it, and I really, really liked it. I felt the whole time like I was being held at a distance and that it wasn't fully immersive emotionally. Like, I felt like there was something just holding me back a little bit from fully investing. However, I'm kind of glad of that, because I think if I'd fully invested in this, my depression would have really intensified and I would have really spiraled out of control, because this is dark. Like, it's really dark, and it's a lot to deal with. Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of great feminism and a lot of great, like, raising up to find voices and all of that great stuff. Like, it's of its time. It's really good, but it just, it drained me. It really drained me, and I felt very tired of it. So this one I picked up during the readathon. This is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I don't usually pick up YA. I am known to occasionally, but just in general, it's not really my thing. But this one I requested months ago to get because I just thought the premise of it sounded so good. It was compared to a female version of... what's it called? Oh my goodness, why can't I remember? Lord of the Flies. There we go. It's compared to Lord of the Flies, and I get the comparison, I do, but I think that this is more current and more relevant. It's got an LGBTQ twist. It's a horror sci-fi. It's really funky, and, like, not in a bad way funky, but, like, kind of teetering on the line of gender identity. It's got a lot of that sort of drive of that current shift in the LGBTQ genres. I don't know how to explain it without giving it away. I think because I really feel like the identity of the women is based more around their character and their idea of identity versus their sexuality, and I really appreciated that. Like, it was sexuality that was mentioned and given, but it wasn't the foremost, like, important point of the book. I get really frustrated when I read LGBTQ books that focus specifically on this person is gay and this is why we're following this person. I would rather just follow a character that happens to be gay. Some people feel differently. I preferably would rather it be a part of them rather their entire identity. So that's a really big thing for me, and I found that this book did that well. I will admit that part of the reason I love this book so much is the texture. It just feels really good to hold, and it feels really nice to open and hold open. I really enjoyed it, though. I would recommend it. It's the story of a group of girls who are living in a girls' school, and all of the teachers begin to die, and people are starting to be overcome by this illness that is sweeping through the school, and all of the adults die, and these girls have to survive on their own. And then there is a twist. The twist is revealed in the synopsis, but I think that that's revealing too much, so I'm not going to bring that up. But it's definitely a worthwhile read. I liked it a lot. And then we have Bunny, which I would say really got to me. Like, I really liked Bunny. It's kind of that basic New England college campus novel. Hello. Somebody's saying hi in the corner, so I'm responding. It's that basic campus novel story. It's the story of a young girl who is going for her MFA, and she gets invited into a more, no, not secluded, that's not the right word, exclusive, group of girls who are all trying to get creative writing degrees, and she gets invited into the darker side of this world, and in the process she ends up harming her friend. And it's just really one of those basic campus novels. I really liked it. I thought it was more poignant than some of the other campus novels I've read. I would, in a really loose sense, compare it to The Secret History. It's got that same sort of group mentality and vibes of stranger things occurring within a group. I didn't like it as much as The Secret History, but I did like it quite a bit, and I would definitely recommend it. So I will be keeping this on my shelf. I really enjoyed it, and I will read it again in the future. I would definitely recommend that. And then we have this. This is Water Shall Refuse Them by Lucy McKnight Hardy. I adored this book. It went into my favorite books of the year so far video that I just recently made. It's my last video that I've posted. It's pretty epic. How do I go into this without spoiling anything? I would say it's a Shirley Jackson-esque witch story. Yeah. It's got elements of witchcraft, elements of darker issues, feminism, weirdness ensues, creepiness, and outright terror. It's not a horror, but it has horror elements. And it's not a thriller, but it has thriller elements. It's very genre bending. I really liked it. It's literary fiction for the most part in terms of its writing style, I would say. So if you like literary fiction, horror, thrillers, this is a really good one. But yeah, it holds to that Shirley Jackson-esque style, and I really loved it. I would definitely recommend this one, and you will see it again on my channel for sure. I will reread this again potentially in this year. I liked it so much. But yeah, definitely worth a read. I will be honest, I picked up that one from the UK. I paid full price and I paid for shipping. I don't order through no, not Books A Million. I don't order through Book Depository. I don't like working with them, so I don't order through them. So I order through either Foils or Waterstones. This was Foils. So I paid for this. This is not sent to me, and it was not free or gifted. This one I did pay for. But I paid for it with my Patreon money, which I really appreciate. My Patreons are wonderful, and they support me immensely. My last book I read is kind of a tradition that I read every single Booktubeathon, Reading Rush. This is The Bell Jar. This is by Sylvia Plath. This is my favorite book of all time. This time, though, I listened to it on audio, narrated by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I loved it. I think it was a really interesting dynamic to hear it read to me aloud and to go through it in that format. It was definitely more fun and more interesting, and it gave it a little bit of a twist. I now hear Maggie Gyllenhaal when I read the book in terms of like the character. It kind of changed the dynamic of how I read it and who I hear in the voice. But overall, I'm super happy with it, super in love with it. Still my favorite book of all time, still 5 stars. Definitely worth it. So yeah, those are all the books that I read for the Reading Rush. I hope you guys had a good reading rush and enjoyed yourself. If you did, I would love to hear about it in the comments. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button down below. I want to say thank you to my Patreons. You guys have supported me so much, and it's been so wonderful to have you. And you've all stuck around while I've had this transitional period of craziness while I've been sick, and I really, really love you for that. All my subscribers who have stuck around and stayed with me while I do this transitional period as well, you guys mean the world to me. I love you all so much. I will talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.